Thank you, sir. You were called here not just for reasons mentioned, but as a founder and the first generation entrepreneur, you've really done well and set an example for each one of us. And of course, being awarded the Padma Shri is another jewel to your crown. Thank you so much for sharing your insights here, sir. Your ideas will go a long way with us. May I request our guest to kindly take the stage, please? The floor is now open to questions.
Morning, sir. My question is open to both the speakers. In today's date, due to the environment, if you are looking at a new investment in a manufacturing setup, in which geography would you actually target your facility? Maybe in the world economy and probably looking at India as a base for manufacturing. Or would you look towards the South Asian, the Asian parts of China or its other counterparts?
It actually depends on what line of manufacture you want to have, because I'm a votary for either niche or global, because if you are just doing something in Chennai to be supplied to Hyderabad or Bombay, and then if you get some export order, do some extra effort to do some additional packaging and all that, is not the culture that you need to develop as a company. As a company, the quality is one, global standards is one. So there's no other way of doing it except going global, in my opinion, whatever product and service that you do. In terms of manufacturing, I think if it is mass production, I would recommend eastern part of the world, which is China, Taiwan, and Korea, because of four reasons which are better than that of India. One is the cost and continuity of labor, and the labor laws are very convenient there. Infrastructure is far superior. And thirdly, the interest rates are much lower. It's 5-6% or less than that you can get. And of course, the cost of electricity, both continuity and quality and cost, are better than that of India. So if it is mass manufacture, I would really recommend those three countries, depending upon what you want to produce. If it is niche, which also I recommend, if it is niche means in biotechnology, you can go after some enzymes. You can go after some of the finishing product lines in pharmacy space itself. Everybody talks about API and the dosage form. Nobody talks about the other things that go into manufacturing, like excipients or rubber caps or aluminum crimps or the modular vials or tubular vials. And there's a plethora of paraphernalia, including packaging. So much of specialization is required actually in making a pharmaceutical product available. And I can talk about pharma because I'm more in it than in other things. So if it is a specialized thing and knowledge-based, I think India is the best. If it is mass manufacturing, which is cost and scale-based, I think the Eastern countries are the best. I would like Ajay to comment on.
Well, in our case, we, because of the diversity of the businesses that we play in, we are in all locations, all geographies. The way I look at it is twofold. I think always India is oftentimes has been looked at as a low-cost source, and this whole game of cost arbitrage is not, in my opinion, the way to go. We have a lot of challenges here from a productivity perspective. So this whole philosophy that you can be in India from a cost arbitrage perspective. I talk to a lot of multinationals who have set up R&D operations in India, and none of them is doing it because it's low cost. That's not their driver for setting up an R&D facility, whether it's ourselves, or whether it's GE, or whether it's Airbus, or whether any of the multinationals, Cisco, whoever set up operations here. They haven't done it from a cost arbitrage perspective. So again, to his point, depending on where you're looking from, and if you're looking from a research and development perspective, you've got to look at where the skills are available, where the talent is available. But certainly don't go on the basis of cost arbitrage, because that is a slippery slope. That'll go away over time. It's got to be efficiency, it's got to be productivity. So we look at it from that point of view. Either you're close to the source of the raw material, or you're close to your customer, or you're close to where the talent is. Those are the kind of three filters that we look for. Am I close to my customer? Am I close to the raw material source? Or am I close to where the talent is? Those are the filters that we use.
Hello, sir.
Good morning. My question is open to both of you. Looking at the point of view that 3M and Orchid both are 3M being a very diverse company with business, different verticals of business. Same with Orchid, has a different line of business, basically in pharmaceutical company. How important in a different business environment it is to choose between the different verticals? Like how important is a business decision? Because some of the business lines would be, you can be emotionally attached, or maybe they have been performing really good past 5 years, 10 years. But because the time is not good, you have to let it go. So how important is a business decision according to you?
Actually, see, emotions can play a role only to some extent. I think it is the head that has to rule the heart ultimately, because we are, for many reasons. One is we are using somebody else's money. It's not your own money, because you have shareholders, you have bankers, you have institutions who have lent you and participated in it. This is reason number one. And secondly, you are here to maximize stakeholders' wealth. I mean, if 60 consecutive quarters or 60 years every consecutive quarter dividends are paid or the value of the company is high, that's a tribute to the management of the company. So we are here for a reason, we are here for value creation for all the stakeholders. So as I gave my own example of Cephalexin price dropped by 70%, and you can't cling on to Cephalexin, then along with Cephalexin you will go down as a company. So you have to have horses for courses. If you have to be smart enough, nimble-footed enough to when to get into a business, when to get out of a business, when to diversify a business, and when to expand the business. So all of us have done at different points of time similar things, and I think that is the way to go about it. And in that, the power of anticipation and the kind of global research and strategization will definitely help a company do it better and ahead of other people. So I think that's what they have done as a very large company, and we have done as a small company in our own way.
Yeah, no, I would echo his comments clearly. As I was giving that example of magnetic media. 3M were the people who invented magnetic tape, diskettes, data cartridges, pneumatics, video film, audio tapes. We were the original people who had the original patent. We were known for Scotch tape in that sense. And the minute the business started becoming a commodity, the Japanese came over and started, the TDKs, etc., started taking that business. We exited the business. So I really echo his comments that you got to make these hard calls. I think one of the big mistakes people make is that they defer making that hard call. I think that's where the real thing is, that you keep throwing good money after bad. And you got to be able to make that tough call and be willing to walk away from stuff. It's always easy to walk into something. It's very difficult to walk out of something.
Good morning, sir. Sir, I have a question to Mr. Ajay Nanavati. Sir, 3M does a lot of 3M stresses a lot on innovation. Sir, I would like to know, what is your product testing strategy for the products which you manufacture? As in, do you do a lot of testing before going to the market, or what is it that you do?
During my talk, I made that comment about a lot of our innovation comes from listening to our customers. So oftentimes so there are two elements to it. One is listening to your customers, and second is being able to read between the lines what he himself is not saying, but you believe that you understand his need. He himself doesn't often know. I mean, you've heard this often story about Apple, that if you had done a focus group, you probably wouldn't have an iPad or an iPhone if you went through a traditional focus group kind of a model, because it was not a concept that was, they were not the pioneers in the technology. They just found that need to fulfill a need. So yeah, we do a lot of, we have a very disciplined approach. When I talked about, it's not like it's a free-for-all, that you throw on the wall and see what sticks. It's a very structured, very disciplined approach. And again, I come back to that comment I made about cutting the umbilical cord. We have a process that says, we've invested this money, we have found it's not working out, let's walk away from it. And it's not considered a failure, nobody gets fired for that. So we have a very structured approach to how we approach innovation, even though that might sound like a bit of an oxymoron. But we do approach it in a very thoughtful way. And again, a lot of our ideas come from just listening to our customers and saying, hey, what's your problem, and how can we help solve it using our technology?
Alright, due to paucity of time, I'm sorry, but we would have to close the Q&A session here. Maybe you can arrange to maybe ask it offline or something. I now request our Dean, Father Emmanuel, to kindly felicitate our guests with the memento as a token of our heartfelt gratitude and appreciation. Thank you. We now break for tea. I request our student representatives to usher our guests. We will assemble in 10 minutes.